Choosing a turkey from Whole Foods Market puts you ahead of the game even before the bird goes in the oven. Why? Because our standards apply to every turkey you buy at Whole Foods. The varieties are many. We've got our fresh basic turkey, we've got a chilled brined turkey, there's organic, heritage, as well as kosher varieties. We even have full roasted turkeys, so you can leave the work to us. So I've got a few tips for you before you get started. A couple things to remember. First is you want to get your turkey order in early. You can beat the crowds and make sure you get exactly what you want. Second thing to remember is when you're working with fresh turkeys, pull it out of the refrigerator about an hour before you start cooking. That way it's up to room temperature, it's going to cook a little more evenly in the oven. Third thing to remember, always order at least 1 to 1.5 pounds of turkey per person to feed. That way you have plenty, plus you'll have leftovers. And whenever you're using a frozen turkey, give yourself 2 to 3 days in the refrigerator to thaw your turkey out. And just remember, don't ever defrost it at room temperature. Keep it in that fridge just to be safe. Now it's time to prepare the perfect turkey. First thing I did was I pulled it out of the refrigerator, let it sit at room temperature for 1 hour. That will ensure an even roast. Next thing I did was preheated my oven to 350 degrees, got that ready. Pulled all the giblets out of the turkey. You can reserve those for gravy if you like. Then I rinsed it in cold water. Then we're just going to pat it down with a paper towel, make sure the skin's really dry. You pat it really dry, it'll help get you a brown, crispy skin. So I've got some celery, carrots, and onions, and some fresh thyme. We're going to stuff the cavity of the bird with these things. I took the thyme, chopped it up a little bit, kind of mix it up with these vegetables, and we're going to stuff this into the cavity of the bird. Now whatever vegetables you have left after you've stuffed the bird, you can scatter around the roasting pan, and they can just sit there and roast with the turkey. So we're going to get all of these in here. Once you've stuffed the bird and you've gotten all your aromatics inside the cavity of the bird, you want to secure the legs. Get a nice tight knot on this so all these delicious aromatics stay inside. That's good to go. We're going to put it in the roasting pan. I like to make sure these wings are tucked. You can kind of tuck them under the legs of the bird just a little bit so they stay there. Then we've got some melted butter. I'm going to take this melted butter and brush it all over the skin of the turkey. This will ensure a very beautiful golden brown skin as it roasts. Once you've brushed it with butter, you're going to season the skin. So, take some fresh cracked pepper. Some kosher salt. Get your hands in there, make sure you pat it, get it all secure. In the roasting pan, we've got some chicken broth and some white wine. This is going to turn into a delicious juice that we're going to use to make our gravy with later. Okay, now that we've prepared the roasting pan, there's one final chef's tip I'm going to show you. We're going to invert this turkey so it roasts half the time breast side down. This will let all the juices run down into the breast, and then we're going to flip it again to finish it. So I'm going to brush this side again with butter. Make sure you get every inch of skin. A little more salt and pepper. We're ready to hit the oven. All right, I think the turkey's done. Let's check it out. Beautiful. Golden brown color, just what we were looking for. Be very careful pulling it out. You don't want to lose any of those wonderful juices. So during the cooking, I did a few things. First was I checked our time chart, did an estimate on how long the turkey would take, and about halfway through that cooking time, I inverted it back over so the breast side is up. This way you ensure lots of juice in the breast, but it also gets that wonderful golden brown skin. And this is probably the most important part about the whole thing, because you want to make sure the turkey is cooked through 165 degrees, but you don't want to go much over. Our Whole Foods turkeys are fresh, lean, and they contain no additives. They can take less time than a traditional turkey. So you want to start checking about 20 to 30 minutes before you think it's done and get up to 165, then we pull it out. We're going to let this rest Resting the turkey allows the juices to remain in the meat and not seep out when you start cutting it. So we're going to get in tents here and tent the turkey. Loosely cover the bird. You want to get a wrap around the entire pan. Make sure you don't burn yourself. This doesn't need to be right up against the skin. You don't want it to stick. You definitely want to keep all that steam, all the heat, and all the juices where they belong, which is in the roasting pan. All right, well, thanks for joining me today. These simple, quick tips should show you how to make the most beautiful, delicious, juicy, golden brown turkey you've ever made. We're going to show you how to make some sides, some gravy, and carve a turkey on some other videos. Hope you join me for those.